Coming soon, Universal's gonna remake The Wolfman a second time, but before that comes out, I've decided to look back on the first time that Universal remade the movie. The script that I'm about to go over was a second draft script by Andrew Kevin Walker, but before David Self came in to rewrite it. Also, Hugo Weaving's character is not in the script. But before I start, here is a special word from someone who worked on the movie.
Hi Tyler, how are you? You okay? You well? Happy New Year. Yeah, so I was Benicio del Toro's stunt double. And that was in the 2010 remake. We started filming on that in 2008, believe it or not. And then we were going to do some reshoots over in LA, but that didn't take place. We were just meeting up with the stunt crew. And it was Nina Armstrong, the Armstrong family that did the reshoots. So it was, and then I made a lot of friends on that show. That's one of the main things I loved about the Wolfman, was creating new friends and family, which was cool. Myself, Rick English, and Dave Garrick played the werewolf and the Wolfman. Yeah, and obviously Benicio del Toro did a bit in there, and Sir Anthony Hopkins did a bit in there, which is cool. Yeah, so my first ever scene in full makeup. Right, you had the first transformation in the asylum, where we're sat on the chair and a breakthrough, and that has started with Benicio, and then when it went to the full makeup, it was myself who did all that scene. So I broke through, I come out the chair, picked the chair up, which was a stunt chair, so it was rigged to break. So, and I had several stunt performers in front of me, and I threw the chair into them because there's about 100 professors in there, you know, plus. So smashed it in there, and I was like, because when you're in the Wolfman, you are a Wolfman. You know, you're really in the moment. And then I steamed up the stairs, I smashed some guy into the wall there, and he nearly went through the wall, because obviously it was a set. So I was really in there, and then I come through, dragged some more people down with my big claws, and then I picked up one of the stunt guys, picked him up, and it was a rigged window, and we smashed him through the window. Right, and then he fallen down and landed on the spikes on the fence, and it was like, oh yeah, really gruely, you know, the Wolfman stuff. And then I jumped through the window, and then we went to Greenwich Naval College, so it went from a set, then it went to the real place, you know. So I jumped on the window, and then jumped onto the roofs, and I was running, and I'm going down all fours, and then Rick English, the brilliant stuntman that he is, he was stunt doubling me and Benicio as well. So he was down on all fours, we all did that bit, and then he jumped off, like he was on a big crane with wires on, and he jumped from well over 100 feet and landed on one platform to another platform, then another platform, and then they put me on the descender, and I'd never done anything like that, and I got out the window, I hadn't rehearsed for this, I was like, what? And they go, right, jump out the window and jump off, and I had to jump into boxes in a bag. All I had a wire on a descender is that thing you still drop with full speed, and then when you get to about a foot away from the bags, it goes zzz, you know what I mean? So, but that was fun, you know? That was really cool. And then the scene went to where you see the Wolfman come up behind the Punch and Judy, and it was quite funny seeing, because there was the Wolf and Judy fighting, and then all of a sudden you see the Wolfman come up behind him and bite the back of his skull, blood everywhere, and then it falls down, and all the kids go wah, screaming, and then I come out and I just want to eat everybody, and then then there's an omnibus coming towards us, and I had a wire, and it pulled me on top of about 25 feet and dropped me down onto the top of the omnibus, and then I was banging on the glass and smashed through, and there was a thing called blood cannons, and there was like 10 different blood cannons, so every strike the Wolfman done, ripping the throats out, taking the face, going for the chest, it'd give you that effect. And then I come out of there, and then I was just going crazy around the street, and then the big chase takes place, and it ends up in the woods. So I'm chasing down one of the actors there, and he runs into the pit with full of mud and water, and he shoots. And he catches me, and I'm like, it really upsets me now, because he's just shot me, not with a silver bullet, you know, but he shoots me, and he hurts me a little bit, and then I walk straight up to him, because he's stuck in the mud, and he goes to shoot himself, but there's no bullets left in the gun, so I take his head off, clean off, and then it goes on, and there's loads of other scenes, but I was doing like 21-hour back-to-backs on that show, but it was very tiring, but we got it done, because the Wolfman is a predator. He didn't care about sleep. You know, he was the full moon. He was up all night. So yeah, there's so many great memories. It would just take too long on here to tell you them all. But I just want to say thank you for requesting a cameo off me. He's one of my favourite monsters to play, the Wolfman. Me and the Wolfman, we become friends. The real presence and spirit of the Wolfman. And I never look at a full moon the same way again. And I've played the werewolf in Harry Potter, and I played Greyback in the Harry Potter Wizards Unite game. So me and a wolf presence, we've got it. It's locked in there, So Tyler, I'm wishing you Happy New Year. Have a great New Year, and love and best wishes to the family. And always remember, beware of the full moon.
And that movie is covered in my book 100 Years of Universal Monster Movies. Order your copy today, available in print and digital. Now back to the video. The movie was to begin with Lawrence and his brother Ben as kids waking up over the sounds coming from their parents' bedroom. While this is part of the story where Lawrence finds his dead mother, the movie changed it to the estate grounds. Many years later, Ben's fiancée Gwen talks to Lawrence to come home to help find his missing brother. And while he does, the script does have him spending more time thinking about it before coming back. Also, the script takes place in 1888, but the movie bumped it up to 1891. When he gets back to his childhood home, he is told by his father, Sir John Talbot, and Gwen that Ben has been missing for a long time, and the gypsies are suspected as if having something to do with it. There is also drama with a gypsy named Victor who recently got out of prison, but his wife Carmela became pregnant before he got out, and Ben is suspected to be the father. But they have bigger problems with a violent beast who recently killed a shepherd. While a werewolf is suspected, Lawrence does not believe in such things. It is also noteworthy that the characters such as Colonel Mulford, Dr. Lloyd, and Strickland, who were also in the original movie, were a lot more prominent in the script, but do not leave much of an impression in the final movie. In addition, the butler character Kendall was in the script, but was changed to the she character in the movie. When the werewolf attacks a gypsy camp, Lawrence is there in the movie, but is safely at home with Gwen when this happens in the script. A month goes by, and Lawrence and his father have been teaching the locals how to use guns effectively. But when the next full moon arrives, Lawrence joins in on the hunt, and gets bitten by the werewolf and passes out. When he wakes up that morning, his father frames him for murdering the locals, and he's taken away to an asylum in London. The montage sequence was a little different in the script. This would involve Lawrence performing Shakespeare in front of an audience of werewolves, with his father, also a werewolf, among them smoking a cigar, the gypsy Melva using her iconic line from the original movie while making small talk with Lawrence, the mounted animal heads swapped for human heads, and Lawrence killing Gwen. When John talks about when he was bitten, he was in Kenya back in 1863, but was changed to the continent of Asia in the movie. It was not until his transformation in the asylum where Lawrence becomes the Wolfman for the first time. While there was a deleted scene of the Wolfman terrorizing a costume party, the script had some of the party guests fighting back, and the Wolfman killing them before being scared away by a party guest throwing a gas-powered lamp. In addition, the rampage across London was much longer in the script. This would have involved the Wolfman killing a rag picker in the sewer area, the police using a whistle that hurts the Wolfman's ears, the Wolfman killing a woman that Jack the Ripper was gonna kill, the Wolfman wrestling and killing a crocodile at a local zoo, freeing a pack of wolves shortly after, and joining the wolves attacking grave robbers. Lawrence was to wake up on top of St. Paul's Cathedral, and Gwen's parents were featured in the script. When Lawrence arrives back in secret to Blackmore, he investigates his mother's tomb and finds his dead brother hidden inside. Lawrence then confronts his father at home, and John confesses that he got Carmela pregnant and killed Ben. The climactic battle was a lot longer in the script. This would have had Lawrence cut into the other werewolf's arm with a spear, throwing an oil lamp to briefly light the other werewolf on fire, and throwing a box full of his father's bullets into the fireplace before he turned into the Wolfman that would be used to blast both himself and his father out of the building. They would then proceed to keep fighting in the ruins of a nearby castle, causing a tower to collapse, before finishing the fight by the waterfall. After Gwen would shoot the werewolf in the arm, the Wolfman would kill the werewolf by ripping his throat out with his sharp teeth. In a moment of Lawrence having control, he commits suicide by jumping off a cliff and into a waterfall. The movie was to end to gypsies tending to Carmela's baby, but establishing that he was born a werewolf. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.